Some clubs have more history than others, and I have made my way to a club on the south side. Well, it's actually in another county. It's in Wicklow, Bray County, Wicklow. We're in Woodbrook Golf Club, which is a famous, famous club. So many great tournaments down through the years, but it has produced some incredible talent. And one in particular is a lady who is just up on the wall here by the name of Claire Harahan. Now, Claire Harahan has an incredible story to tell as I try and figure out how to work this little gizmo camera. Because I'll just show you her there. Right, there you go. There is Claire. And Claire played on the Curtis Cup 4 times. And she was on that famous team in 1986 at Prairie Dunes that won for the first time in America. You know, that was historic for Great Britain and Ireland, but a sensational player who won 5 Irish closes. I think she won 3 in a row at one stage. I'll figure that out, I'm fairly certain. But I'm alongside a very important lady here in the club, Fiona Cantrell, who actually won the Captain's Prize last year. But you went to school with Claire Harahan, isn't that right?
I did, yes. We were in school from the age of about 4, right the way through, in Rockford Manor in Blackrock.
Now, she was not an outstanding sports person, was she?
She was probably the last person to be picked for any team. You'd be there saying, oh my God, we're not stuck with Claire. She couldn't get a net ball into a net. But if we got rounders, she'd have a straight arm and she would whack that ball if she hit it. So golf and rounders were about the only thing, but anything with kind of eye-hand coordination other than that, with coordinating with other people, she was absolutely bottom of the class.
Now, I think significantly, Fiona, it's fair to kind of actually make the point. And when it comes to golf and connections, there was a real connection because her dad, Bill, ran the Leopardstown driving range.
That's right.
Okay, and that was one of the first of its kind in Ireland. John Jacobs came over and established a teaching school there. It was very famous, but she obviously spent a lot of time there.
She did,
and with that straight arm.
And we would be dragged up there and we would be given a bucket of balls and we would be there whacking them, only we were scutting them along the ground and she would be able to hit them just absolutely magnificently.
Yeah.
Herself and her dad and her mum. Her mum also was a member here in Woodbrook.
Yeah.
So they all played.
Well,
and she was an only child, so it was very much a team effort.
Yeah, and she did some incredible things, and more recently has become one of the first female members of the R&A. So, you know, as a result of her incredible feats on the golf course, she was rewarded with that. But I mean, she's had so many other accolades during her outstanding career. You grew up with her.
I grew up with her.
You were a day apart, is that right?
Our birthdays are a day apart. Hers is the 18th of February and mine is the 19th of February.
There you go.
So,
and I just chanced upon this lady.
Yeah.
I simply came into the clubhouse and said, "Where is the portrait of Claire Harahan?"
And you happened upon me.
And now you've become you've become the opening section of this tribute to Claire Harahan.
There you go. You just never know.
You just never know. Well, thank you. I know you've got to get out there. You've got a tea time in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Fiona. Thank you. So there you go. So look, there's incredible history here. But I'll just briefly run through some of the stars that they have here. You know, Pat Mulcair, he played on the Walker Cup team in 1975. I think that was at St Andrews, if memory serves me correctly. Tony Hevern, famous golf tour operator and travel agent, but he was an Irish international in 78 and 1979, 16 appearances. Good old Tony. Very famous man as well in Irish golf. Liam McNamara, who played a lot with Connacht, obviously in interprovincial golf, but a winner of the South of Ireland in 77 and 92, and played on that European Championship winning team at Muirhof in Austria in 1987, along with Owen O'Connell and John McHenry, and that was just a sensational side that won there. But you know, a very famous golfer from these parts. Brenny Scannell, 32 appearances for Ireland between 1947 and 1954, and you know, he celebrated here at Woodbrook. He was a captain of the Irish team. He was a winner of the Irish Seniors. He won the East on 3 occasions. And Brenny Scannell was a president of the Golfing Union of Ireland in 1979. And there's Eamon Curran, who captained that famous team in 1987. And they won the European Team Championship. And of course, he was the captain of the Irish team that won the Home Internationals famously after quite a gap back in 1987. At Lahinch. But this is the lady I really want to talk about, Claire Harahan, because she came from here and she was an outstanding player who played in 4 Curtis Cups, and you know, her contributions to the game in Ireland are immense, and a winner of the British Ladies Strokeplay Championship as well. And actually, I'll just show you one more thing here. Because Woodbrook is very famous in Irish golfing terms for a variety of reasons. So it's been the host of some amazing tournaments down through the years. The list is here on the wall. I won't go into it in total detail, but I will tell you off the top of my head that 1975 was a big year, with Pat Mulcair making the Walker Cup team, but 1975 was the rebirth of what we now know as the Irish Open. And that rebirth took place here, and they had a stellar field, which included Tom Watson, who had just won the Open, his first major at Carnoustie. But the event was won by a very special man in Irish golf who is very sadly not with us anymore, and what a huge presence he was. But Christy O'Connor Jr., that is, won the Irish Open, and it showed that he was a bit different, and obviously he had to carry the huge mantle of having the same name as his famous uncle. But what can we say? Christy was the winner, and the Irish Open was reborn. I mentioned Pat Mulcair. There's a lovely photo of him here, actually, which I'm going to show you now. And this is him teeing off at St Andrews in 1975. And who is he playing? Only my Fox Sports colleague, Curtis Strange. Hope you're watching this, Curtis. I hope you're watching it. But the reason I came down here today was to meet a particular lady.
Hi.
Who is Danielle McVeigh. And Danielle is currently the captain of the Irish women's team, last year and this year as well. But most notably, Danielle played in the Curtis Cup in 2010, captained by none other than Mary McKenna. So you played in Boston.
We did, yeah. It was an incredible experience. It's hard to believe it's 8 years ago now. Unbelievable. Probably one of the highlights of my career.
Yeah. It is the pinnacle for every amateur, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think it's so prestigious. There's so much history there. Even being part of this club and having a 5-time Curtis Cupper is something that's really prevalent. So the achievement to get there, but also the achievement to go on and compete at that level is incredible.
Now, you'll have to excuse my camera work, but selfie sticks and me are not the best bedfellows. But we're going to move outside, and Danielle, let's take a trip out to the putting green, because you were practicing when I arrived. We're going to play a few holes. But, I mean, the Curtis Cup, you played against an American side that features a couple of current LPGA stars.
Yeah, we played against Lexi Thompson and Jessica Corda. So that was particularly difficult, playing 4-ball against them.
Yeah.
I was hitting driver 5-iron, and Lexi was standing up crunching a driver, hitting 9-iron.
And remind people, how old was she in 2010?
Oh, probably 15 or 16, I'd say.
Yeah, maybe younger.
Could have been. We had our own stalwarts, the Maguires on that team as well, and they were only 15 as well. So we were packing a punch, but probably not big enough of a punch at that stage.
Yeah. Isn't this magnificent here?
It's absolutely super. I'm so fortunate to be a member of this club, to come down and practice here, play a few holes, and the sun's always shining.
Yeah, the sun always does shine around these parts, all right. And it's got a very, just quality feel about it. I mean, the clubhouse itself is famous. Let me just give you a little glimpse of the clubhouse. All right, so just take a look at this, and please, as I said, forgive the camera work, but I am not a professional cameraman. But this is a one-man band, and that's what you're going to get. And for a brief moment, I'm going to be taller than Danielle. All right, let's go back to normal. So you've been playing and practicing. You're kind of coming back to the game. You took a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I took a few years of a break. Just coming off tour, I actually fell out of love with the game. Was not playing well, and decided to explore other areas and advance my career as well. So spent a bit of time doing that. Picked up a few other hobbies along the way, and now I'm regaining that love for golf.
Yeah.
Being involved with the Irish team, and being part of that whole setup was really giving me that buzz to go on and get back into it.
Yeah, okay. And so how are you feeling about your golf now?
Well, I played at the weekend and I went 5 birdies and 6 holes, so that was pretty nice, but then the next 5 could have been a few bogeys. So playing lovely. I'm kind of at the 12-hole, 15-hole kind of stage, so I don't know if I'll be competing anytime soon, but I'm really genuinely enjoying my golf more than probably in the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, because you did, obviously when you were peaking as an amateur, it requires so much dedication and it requires so much effort.
Yeah.
And then when you actually started achieving things and you won the ladies women's British Strokeplay title, you were winning Irish championships and you were on the Irish team, and then you were making Curtis Cups.
Yeah.
It's like you're part of it's like a fast moving train for a while, doesn't it?
It's unbelievable, like to be able to compete at a high level like that for a fairly long time. It takes a tremendous amount of hard work, but also like you have to have that natural passion for exploring, and I feel like I was just losing that slightly, or having the passion to go and hit balls at 6 a.m. before college, which I just naturally did as an amateur, and I kind of lost that slightly, so that's what you need.
Well, you're a very special woman in Irish women's golf, and it's great that you're involved with the ILGU, looking after the future and the younger talents that are coming through. And there is a lot happening in Irish golf, isn't
It's
there?
unbelievable. I think what you're seeing now is the success of 10 years of hard work in terms of development, getting all of the access to the young girls through schools or whatever it may be, and now you're really starting to see that. We've got some amazing 12, 13-year-olds that are light years ahead of, especially me when I was 12 and 13. So I'm really excited to be part of that and seeing their development and seeing what they can do on the world stage.
Okay, and life is pretty good.
Yeah, life at the moment I'm actually is really happy.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, like in work, loving golf again, got a great group of friends, play a bit of golf together,
Yeah.
and I get to travel. So I'm really content at the moment, yeah.
Great. Well, this is going to be our first ever game of golf together, and I've heard so much about your incredible striking ability, the sound that you make when you hit a golf ball. So I'm looking forward to that. But just to finish, the Curtis Cup is coming up, and you played against Lexi, you played against some really hot current LPGA stars. The team that is going to line out for Great Britain and Ireland, are you excited about their prospects? Because they're obviously defending the Curtis Cup, but they're going into America and they're going to be playing the home side on home turf in a very good course, a great course at Quaker Ridge. What do you think their chances are like?
I think they've a new kind of breed of golfers coming through. Having two of our own from Royal County Down on the team is particularly special. And we have a large contingent going to watch. But I'm like, there's no reason why they can't compete at that stage. And we've got some world-class players in the team, like Olivia Mahaffey, Paula Grant. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be live on Fox, on FS1 actually, to be more specific. And I am fortunate to be in the position of hosting it alongside the great Julie Inkster. Can't wait for that. It's going to be on Sky, so they'll be taking the Fox feed, so you won't miss anything to do with the Curtis Cup. We're all looking forward to it. And Danielle McVeigh, congratulations on all that you've achieved in the game, and just continued success, health and happiness.
Cheers, thank you.
All right, we'll sign her off there. Well done.